the last sheet. But why do I only have 9 inches between here and here? Well, if you remember, I started over there and I brought my wallpaper around here, and I decided that I was going to meet the ending and the beginning over here. Ideally, it would be right here. As I said earlier, when you enter the dining room, that's the last place you're going to look. This comes into the view of the periphery of people entering. But practically speaking, I couldn't do it over there. So we yield to prudence, right? You never want to have a 6 to 8 foot fake out if you don't have to. You always want to end it over a doorway or a window because we only have 23 inches here. That's what you want, something short or shorter. Do not start and end your wallpaper in corners on an 8-foot wall. This is bizarre, but I've seen it done. Because people don't know how to do what's called a fake out, which is what I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to match this sheet to this piece, and this is where I'm going to end it, and I'm going to cut around this pattern to make it look like it matches. We're going to do our best. That's all we can do. Now, this might be a good opportunity for the person doing this from home to use a water bottle. You can continue to keep your job moist so that in case it starts drying, because you tend to spend more time on these fake outs than anything else. So if you wet it, you prevent it from drying out on you. Before we think about where we're going to cut our wallpaper, we need to make sure that the seam is perfect. That's the first consideration. Because if you cut this without making sure the seam is perfect, then you have a permanently imperfect seam. Okay, so theoretically, let's just say theoretically, we leave this intact. We cut around here to make this intact. We want this big thing. Let's see if we're interfering with anything. So far, it's not a bad plan. Or I could simply come in here
Just to review what's going on here. The piece that I'm touching is the overlap. The piece underneath is the underlap. A fake out makes it look like the end, which is the sheet I'm holding right there, and the beginning, which is the sheet underneath it, look like it matches. That's what a fake out attempts to do. So I'm dragging my finger around there where I intend to drag my knife. The secret here is to leave big objects intact. No one's going to notice a little leaf misplaced on your fake out. No one's going to notice that. But if you think you can cut through a big flower and leave half of it intact and remove half of it, well then you don't have a fake out. You're going to have a mismatch and everyone's going to see it. So the secret to doing a successful fake out is to examine your pattern and to leave big objects intact. And you want to keep pulling the paper away, looking underneath it, and putting it back so that you can identify those areas where you can see that big flower there, where you can leave that intact and just cut through solid, patternless paper, if you can. Ideally, you just cut around the flowers, but that's not always possible. There are just too many little veins in the way to avoid them all. But in this case, we just left the big ones intact, hoping that nobody would notice. And I think you're going to like the end result. Just keep watching.
You can take away the excess. See, I've joined this big thing. Your eye is not going to be staring at, because it's all one there, you know? I made it part of that. Okay. What else am I going to cut around? I already know I want this big flower intact. And I want to avoid cutting this flower. So, check this out. I'm going to put my line, see? I'm going to keep that flower underneath intact. I like that. Okay, here's what we're looking like so far. This is how our pattern looks. So I'm going to keep that flower intact. Okay. Okay, let's see where we are with this. Nice. Oh, I love it right now. So So this is all going. This is staying. You have to be aware of what you're doing too. Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. Okay, so right now, I just pull this apart. I have my fake out. I have my fake out. So I take this away. You'll see. Hold on, she's not. Okay, if I just keep this, what do I lose here? Too much going on here. Okay. Get rid of this. Keep that. Okay, so now let's see how we look. Okay, so what I want to do is keep this flower, so I can't move it too much. I just want to get out the wallpaper that's underneath it. Okay, so let's see how we look. What do you think?
Amazing.
It's amazing because I actually was able to join parts.
Yes.
Sometimes you get lucky, you know? What can I tell you? Very nice. Okay, can you zoom in so that they could see at home?
Sure.
You could take a shot from the back over here, like right over here.